Hello everyone, welcome to PhoneArena Show. I'm Rad. With me here as always is Vic. Hi Vic, after a long Apple event.
Hello, everyone.
It just ended like half an hour ago. Long-awaited event, September 9th. A lot of new products. This is the big Apple event for the year where they announce the new iPhones and a whole bunch of other products. So excited to share any first reactions immediately after the event.
Let's go.
It's going to be interesting. A lot of new products, 4 new iPhones, brand new Apple Watch Series 10, not so new but different color Watch Ultra 2.
Yeah.
No plastic Watch SE
Yet.
and but we did get the new AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation, which is that's a win in my book. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. But I would say let's get started right with the biggies.
Oh,
the
let's
new
go.
iPhones.
As always, we had to wait until for the most important, most exciting news until the end of the event.
Yeah.
Apple always does it. It starts slow. It starts with the new features, with some feedback from the users, with some exciting videos. But if you want to hear about the new iPhones, you have to wait until the end of the event. But we're gonna start the other way around.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip it.
I don't know why they don't do it like that, but yeah. Now, okay, so let's start right with the big ones, the Pro. Literally the big ones because they get bigger this year, the Pro and the Pro Max. Interesting stuff. A lot of upgrades across the board.
Right.
To me, personally, doesn't feel like all that new. I mean, I know there are refinements to the design.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. A lot of new features, slightly bigger displays, but yeah, many improvements across the board. Let me know what you think about it.
Okay, so we have, again, let's briefly summarize. 4 new iPhone models, iPhone 16, 16 Plus, those are the base versions.
Yeah.
Not so exciting. And slightly more exciting, 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max that you mentioned are getting a bigger size. I think that these models will be a good enough upgrade for many people to consider them. Mostly because they improve the fundamentals, and this is what people really care about. So yes, they look similar to previous iPhones. Most of the features are similar, and Apple Intelligence is coming to the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, so you're not losing out on that. Yeah. So that is not something that will motivate you to switch to the 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max. But the fundamentals and the number one feature that I'm going to start right away is the battery life. The battery life is getting better on both the 16 Pro Max.
How much better?
Oh, it depends because Apple gives you some official estimations. It doesn't give you a battery size, a battery capacity in numbers, but you get video playback is improving on the 16 Pro Max. It goes to up to 33 hours. An improvement from 29 hours, so a slight improvement. Okay. And then on the 16 Pro, the smaller model is actually getting a bigger improvement. So it gets up to 27 hours of video playback, up from 23 hours. So this is a considerable change. It's not a groundbreaking change in any way, but it is a considerable change. People will notice it. And I think that's great. Apple did not speak too much about it, but they did mention the 16 Pro Max best battery life ever on an iPhone, so that's good. And yeah, I'm excited about
battery life. Yeah, more battery is always good.
Yeah, even though it doesn't seem so exciting, but yeah, and it's only natural. Bigger phones, bigger batteries. It kind of make sense.
Yeah. And the new chipsets, I guess.
What did you like about them? Did you have like a favorite feature, or what do you think?
I like the new gold color. Been waiting for the gold titanium
Which
color.
Is what now? Desert?
Is it desert?
Yeah, I think it's desert. Yeah.
Did they call it desert gold?
Yeah, I think desert titanium.
I think it looks nice. So that one, I like the fact that there is now seems to be feature parity between the Pro and the Pro Max.
Desert sand.
Desert sand, okay, I like it. Feature parity between the two models.
Yes.
Except for obviously the battery and the screen, but you cannot escape that. That's the whole point of the Pro Max. No, I must say 4K 120 FPS video recording.
Yes.
I don't know if that's really that useful or they just make it look so great, so cool.
I think it's the second one.
The new interface seemed very interesting. So you record the video and you can, or you play back the video and you can switch between different modes. Like, is it, do you play it like fully slowed down, or is it like just double the speed at 60 FPS, or is it full speed at 120, where they, you know, switched between the different FPSs with the buttons on the display. Looked cool.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, they showed it with a really cool demo. I don't know if you should call it a demo. It's like a new song by The Weeknd, shot on an iPhone, 4K 120. Looks super cool, and this is the kind of thing that you might be using it for. Like if you're shooting a really serious video.
If you're shooting like a song video, that's.
Yeah, if it's shooting something serious that you're gonna edit and you're gonna put in the effort, you want 4K quality. So it makes a difference for those creators out there. I'm sure if you're a creator, you love this. I am a creator sometimes. I love this 4K 120 feature. But for the average Joe, I'm not sure. Probably, yeah. It's probably gonna be a cool feature to play around with. Yeah. Maybe record a couple of cool videos during the summer or maybe winter sports or whatever you do. But I don't see like everybody starting just creating super cool music videos.
I mean, a lot of people are creating stuff with their phones. They're shooting video. They're shooting like influencer style, vlog style videos all the time. That doesn't mean they're going to use 4K 120 FPS mode to record any of that.
Yeah.
New camera control button. That's the big one.
That's the big one.
We were expecting portless, buttonless iPhone. Instead, we get
more buttons.
More button. Okay, and so it's called camera control.
It's called camera control, and all 4 iPhone 16 models get it. So not just the Pro models, which is unexpected for me. I would expect Apple to limit this only to the Pro models.
Yeah.
But then, because this button is kind of tied with Apple Intelligence, and Apple really wants to sell you Apple Intelligence all of a sudden, that's why I guess the base models also have it. And it's a cool button. It seems to be a physical button that you can press, but it also has some haptics that kind of enhance the press of the feeling, the haptic feeling of pressing the button. Yeah. But we have to double check about that. We haven't yet seen or used the phones. Yeah, and it's also a capacitive button, so you can slide your finger across it to control zoom, or you can control pretty much any camera feature or many pre-programmed feature, which seems very useful. Again, we have to test how easy it is. You kind of double press it to cycle between filters, and I saw just before starting the podcast here, the first question on Threads, okay, it's a capacitive button. Why didn't you put Touch ID in it? Come on, Apple. It was like many people really want that fingerprint scanner, right?
That's what the iPhone 17 is going to be for.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, it seemed like a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect placement. It's a capacitive button.
I mean, they can easily place it on the power button.
They could also place it on the power button, of course. So, I mean, obviously, buttons are not a problem for Apple now. Yeah. They can just put
They're
many
experts in
wish for a new button. Apple will make it in the iPhone 17, 18. You're getting your wishes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Camera control. They made it look really cool.
Yes. But they did the same with the action button.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Did you like when you tested you're not using an iPhone right now? What do you think about it?
Right now, I'm not using the action button. I mean, I would definitely like bind it to some function that I use most often, and that would probably gonna be mute the volume.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm using it as a mute switch.
Yes, going back to the classics.
I mean, there was a reason for a mute switch on the iPhone.
Yeah. No, I get it that some people might want to use it, and now
But I'm pretty sure, I'm ready to bet money,
yeah,
big money, for that. So that there are two main, by far, use cases for the action button.
okay,
First one is a mute switch. The second one is camera button.
right, yeah.
And now everyone can still can keep using the action button as a mute switch because they now have a camera control button. So that's an improvement.
Well, I really enjoyed a couple of the demos that Apple showed about the action button, in particular, but it's about the future, right?
Yeah.
So they showed the demo where you can unlock your car using the action button, but of course it only works with some cars. With you have to kind of go through an app. You have to use the Apple shortcuts probably. So it's kind of a pro level functionality, but it sounds really cool, like being able to unlock your car with your smartphone. That sounds cool. That sounds useful, and I guess there will be other uses for that. You can also tie the action button. Apple showed you can use it for one thing during the day, and you can use it for another thing during the night. So for example, during the day you can start your calendar, during the night you can start the flashlight, which makes sense, but again, you have to program this via the Apple shortcuts function. So it's a bit of a pro feature again, but that's the action button, and now with the camera control, rumors said it was going to be called capture button, so I'm trying to switch my mind to camera control now. But the good thing is that the two buttons that you had on the screen, the lock screen buttons, you can now program to at least one of them, which was for the camera. You can now program this for something else.
Yeah.
A calendar, whatever.
To me, it's calendar. Yeah, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Okay. K-Tom in the chat really wants to know if we're disappointed about the main sensor of the camera not being upgraded.
Oh, so it is upgraded. It's now called the fusion sensor, which we don't know what that means. But technically,
camera, man, it's brand new.
Technically, it seems to be the same sensor indeed.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cameras here.
Oh.
On the Pros and on the vanilla ones. Let's start with the Pros. So we know video is upgraded mainly with the new slow motion 120 FPS at 4K. That's good. As expected, both the Pro and the Pro Max get the 5x
Tetra Prism.
The 5x Tetra Prism zoom. That is awesome. What are the biggest improvements there with the cameras?
For the Tetra Prism or in general?
In general.
Well, you got the new ultra wide camera. So the main camera has not changed much, but the ultra wide camera is brand new.
And that is on the Pros.
That is only on the Pros. You get a 48 megapixel sensor, you get quad pixel binning. So this means basically much better quality in low light at night, and also the possibility to capture higher detail.
Right.
So that's great. The ultra wide camera has been okay, but now it's gonna be much better. And the samples that Apple showed during the event were convincing, but they always show good samples. But anyway, I'm excited about the ultra wide camera. I think it's a good addition, good upgrade. 4K 120. And it's all about the controls and ease of use, but main camera stays.
So the main camera, is there any improvement to the main camera?
Apple says that now it has anti-reflective coating on the back, so the lens itself has anti-reflective coating. So that means you get those, those flares, the flare gate,
little dots.
The little dots. That's what the iPhone camera is known for.
Yeah.
They might disappear. That's a very optimistic prediction, but at least that's what an anti-reflective coating is for, right? So we will see. But this Apple might finally address this one issue that many people are concerned about.
All right, and just to be clear now, on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, the ultra-wide camera is also getting a small upgrade.
A
correct?
small, tiny update.
And it's what, a slightly wider aperture?
Yeah,
Is that it?
the aperture goes from f2.4 down to f2.2, and you now get macro capability on the regular models. On the Pro model,
well.
you had this for a couple of generations, but on the basic models now for the first time, well, that's nice.
Cool, but
Yeah.
it's still 12 megapixel, right?
Yeah.
So the quality itself is probably not going to get that much better.
And the other feature is also a software feature. It's about the photographic styles, which are your glorified
That
Apple
one
filters.
looked pretty useful.
And I was super excited. I heard about it. I was like, "Damn, I really want to see like Fuji style retro inspired filters on your iPhone without the need to go to the Visco app or some other app or to go to Lightroom and do all those complicated edits." And I'm excited to test these filters, these new filters, upgraded second generation photographic styles. They're customizable. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what you can tweak and customize. They don't look like film simulations, which I was hoping for, but they are a step in the right direction.
But they did seem quite customizable, though.
Yes, they are.
They're not like you have your 5 to 10 different just color filters.
And the best feature here is that you can apply these corrections or you can change the look of the image after you've captured it. So right now it used to be like you capture one style, you kind of stuck with it once you capture the image, and now you can edit this. So this is really good. Yeah, really promising.
Thanks to the power of, but wait a minute. The new photographic styles, are they for all iPhone 16s or just for the Pros?
Oh, that's a good question. I have to double check about that.
Let
me do that.
All right. So, let's see.
Yeah, all iPhone 16 models.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So, now we have a question here. You complain about phones getting too big.
Yeah.
When? When exactly? Is the 16 Pro the perfect size? Now with the 5x zoom camera,
yes,
it's a better phone.
Yes.
Then the Pro Max, what do you guys think?
Yes. Just one. I'm a huge enthusiast. Sorry for just taking over the podcast, but I'm a huge enthusiast for smaller phones, and I think that yes, we're moving towards bigger phones now, and that's only natural because we're using them more. We need more screen real estate. But this feels like the right balance. And because Apple is using slimmer borders, probably one of the slimmest borders put on a phone, this new size is not much bigger than the Pro size of previous generations. So it's slightly bigger, a bit heavier, yes, at nearly 200 grams for the smaller model. But I think it's manageable. I think 6.3 inches is shaping up to be the new small size. The Pixel series, the Pixel 9 series, also 6.3 inches. Probably the Galaxy S25 series, maybe, who knows. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. Longer battery life, the big upgrade, possible thanks to this new size. So yeah, for me that's a big win.
And now, indeed, as it has the 5x camera now, so there's nothing too drastic to differentiate between the two. And it's slightly bigger, so...
and the price remains the same. Unexpected.
Unexpected. Okay. Now, speaking of that, let's talk about the hardware a little bit, about the chipsets. We love chipsets, and the Pro are getting the second generation Pro chipset by Apple. That is A18 Pro. Which is different than the A18 in the 16 and 16 Plus.
Yes. But they're both built on the same second generation 3 nanometer technology. Which is great. Sounds very complicated, but these are the first phones using this technology. Android phones still don't have it, so Apple is kind of in the lead here. And this technology uses more processors. They are more power efficient. So yeah, what do you think about
that probably helped a lot with the better battery life.
Yes.
Definitely. I don't know about, because we don't know how big the batteries are inside. Probably slightly bigger in the Pros because they're also bigger phones.
We have to wait for the teardowns probably in about a week or so to learn the exact battery size.
Yeah. But aside from that, the chipset is usually
Yeah.
the main component that would determine the battery life in the end.
Yeah.
So that is why we got this huge battery boost between the iPhone 12 and 13 generations. And so here as well, that's we were waiting and we were promised that this second generation of the 3 nanometer pipeline is going to improve efficiency for the chips, and we saw it with the first gen process that they weren't that successful, at least Apple's.
Yeah, we were expecting, like last year, the first 3 nanometer chips, we were expecting big gains in efficiency, not only performance, but that didn't really happen.
There was some performance, not a lot of efficiency with the first gen, with the A17 Pro. I mean, the A16 was flawless, thermals, wouldn't, heat up and throttle like mad. The A17 Pro changed that. So it was like super powerful, but for a little while, and then it would throttle down the speed. So we'll see with these new second gen 3 nanometer chipset. Hopefully there's not going to be that much throttling with them.
Yeah, and Apple is saying that they're adding new heat dissipation material. We don't know the details, so I'm just saying it very generally, which will help with sustained performance. And this is great for gaming, great for AI.
Yeah.
So we're seeing work definitely being done on that front. That is great. And I wanted to touch about the gains that you get just in pure numbers compared to the previous generation.
Let's go!
So we're talking about 15% better CPU, up to 20% better GPU and graphics.
And that is compared to
the 15 Pro Max.
15.
To the previous generation. These are not huge gains, but it's still something. And here, maybe somewhat controversially, but the regular iPhone 16 is getting a bigger jump, just because for the regular iPhone 16 with the A18 chip, it's a 2 generations leap. So you will be able to feel the change more noticeably there. So there's that.
Right. Okay. So that's the chipset. I mean, for a yearly upgrade, it's a big jump. I mean, 10, 15 to 12% performance gain is a lot. But let's talk about the RAM. Situation. I don't know if we know anything about the RAM at this point, because I'm not sure Apple really reveals that officially.
No.
So we don't know at this point, I guess, how much RAM they have.
No.
Okay, because they're asking in the chat, and so
we know that all iPhone 16 models support Apple Intelligence, and we've seen that previous generation only the 8 GB models supported that. So it's only natural to assume all iPhone 16 models will have at least 8 GB of RAM, and I guess it will be not at least, but exactly 8 gigs of RAM. So probably 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, I really hope that the 16 models, 16 and 16 Pro, have 8 GB of RAM.
They sure.
If they don't, that's going to be...
The 15 Pro already had 8 gigs of RAM, so
So that seems to be the minimum threshold for having Apple Intelligence operate on the phone. And so, but let's hope that next year the language models are not going to get immediately super more advanced than before, and so they would require 12 GB. And so, oh, sorry, your old iPhone 16 no longer gets it for Apple Intelligence 2.0. That's gonna feel bad.
Oh, speaking of Apple Intelligence, I want to touch on something else, which is just this event kind of. I really love Apple events, the vibe they create, they're exciting. And even here in the office, all the folks were here, everyone was ready for the event, for all the coverage, But this time it felt a little bit different to me. It felt a little bit slower, a little bit sluggish. And this was also related to Apple Intelligence because it just kept on repeating things we already heard, like Apple Intelligence rewrite feature, Apple Intelligence Genmoji, Apple Intelligence new Siri. We already heard all of that in June at the WWDC. And the same thing was about the iPhone 16. They kept on talking about the cameras. They mentioned 2x zoom, 2x telephoto zoom,
Yeah.
which this is not a telephoto lens. This is a sensor crop from the main camera. And this was first confusing. And second, it was exactly the same as last year's iPhone 15. And this kind of repetition made the whole event feel a bit slow to me. It was not as exciting to watch. It was long and it was very technical in certain aspects.
Very technical.
Yeah. So Apple, you need a new new editor.
Like it was so technical and spec heavy and nerd talk heavy.
Yeah.
Like I was a little bit bored at some places. You know?
Because it was so heavy on AI, it felt like a Google event in many ways. It's like Apple Intelligence, AI. I was like, okay, when is Sundar gonna show up on stage?
Yeah, right. Like years ago, we would complain, like not really complain, but it was like traditional trademark Apple event, because they would speak to the consumer.
Yeah.
And they would speak to the broad consumer, normal people out there, broad audience, and not just to the super geeks. And that felt like a geek event to me, which is not, I mean, it's not bad, but you wouldn't expect it from Apple. And it was like, it really wasn't like the cool spec stock or the cool geek vibe. It was more like they were trying to show off almost with some, terms and phrases that no one understands, and they know it. They know but nobody understands what these things mean.
Yeah, maybe a few people do, but really not everyone.
Yeah.
And they were very serious in a way. Like I remember it's something that like recent tech events lack a bit, which was those live demos, the excitement around them, what's gonna happen, something more experimental. And this felt very scripted in a way, and even
extremely.
And there was not enough Craig Federighi in there.
But there was some Craig Federighi,
and it was like not the best.
And it was not the best Craig Federighi.
Yes.
I mean, it was almost like fake. I almost got the AI vibes.
Yes.
And he was doing like these strange motions with the hands all the time.
I've seen those articles. I don't know if you've seen them. Like Apple executives are kind of directed to stay in a certain way in this like dominant position with their hands like this or like this, and it feels a bit unnatural, looks a bit strange. And in this event particularly, it felt more strange than usually.
It did. I felt it as well. Yeah. Usually, what happens is I'll go into an Apple event and wouldn't expect that much. I mean, at least in recent years, I wouldn't expect anything, radical to happen. And more often than not, I would come out of the event feeling influenced, feeling like, I don't know about these products. And by the time the event ends, I'll be pretty pumped up about they were great at selling these things. And convincing you that that's so cool, man. And I'll be like, let's see how much it costs. But not today. Not today.
Less today for me, but like, that saying that Apple has this dope marketing team, and I think they came a little bit short today with the marketing, but some of the videos had that Apple vibe, that excitement.
They did.
The promo videos, like you see the close-ups, and it was very funny. Let's switch to the next topic. I want to switch to the Apple Watch.
Okay, let's go. Apple Watch. Enough about the iPhone 16. Great colors, by the way, for the iPhone 16.
We should talk a bit about the iPhone 16 before jumping to the Apple Watch. The iPhone 16 is cool colors. What was the name? Ultramarine, the new bluish color.
I don't know, but
I think it's ultramarine.
They're beautiful colors.
Yes.
This time, first time ever for iPhone.
Saturated, and around the camera lens, which is now pill-shaped, the color is more intense, more saturated. Looks really cool. I love the colors.
Yeah. And that was the iPhone 16.
Not many new features. And here is my iPhone 15, which is a blue color, but it almost looks white
Yeah.
It's not saturated at all. And that one, the new color, looks very nice. So I love the colors. They get the camera control and the action button. They get a new processor, which is nice. In terms of screen, no promotion. We should talk about this. Come on, these phones still cost $800 and $900. In Europe, they cost a fortune. They cost more, and you still are stuck with 60 hertz. It's embarrassing at this point. We're hearing rumors next year you might get promotion. Finally, but we hear this every year. No, but next year probably it will happen.
Come on, the Pixel A series has high refresh rate, right?
Oh yeah, much cheaper phones have it.
Come on.
Yeah,
like they're cheap. Galaxy A13 has high refresh rate.
Yeah, that is true.
Screen.
And they get a super fast chip. So Apple really likes putting fast hardware in their phones. Even the iPhone SE, remember it launched a couple of years ago. It got a super fast chip for we don't know what reason, because it's a tiny phone. But yeah.
But it's almost like you cannot take advantage of it.
Yeah. It's almost
slow display, slow and ugly 60 hertz display.
Yeah. And that's the iPhone 16. Yeah. I almost want to call it iPhone 15.
But yeah, just maybe a quick note on visual intelligence, which was the one feature that I think we didn't know anything about.
I call it Google Lens.
It's yeah, pretty much. Does it work the same way?
Pretty much.
More or less.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah. So it works with the new camera control button. So you press hold the camera control button.
You press and hold.
Yeah. It launches the camera, the smart visual intelligence camera. So you point it at something and you tap the camera control again. And depending on what you pointed it at, it's going to give you what? Context information, what it is, where to buy that thing, that kind of stuff.
Or you can see an event announcement, like point your visual intelligence iPhone towards it, and it will save it to your calendar.
Yeah. I think that's extremely powerful feature. I mean, sort of like Google Lens, but this sort of feature is more powerful when it's so deeply integrated. So you can literally launch it with just a quick tap, just a quick gestures. If you have to go into an app, search for the app, open the screen, find the function.
You're just not gonna use it.
Yeah, but it's so good and so powerful that it really, I think it deserves to be so quick and easy to bring up.
Yeah, I think Apple excels in that. And that's important because these are features that other phones have. And like many people jump here and say, come on, guys, Android has had this for years. Yeah. True, absolutely true. But Android phones do not give it the required attention and place in the platform so that it is used extensively and it is actually useful. And Apple is great at recognizing that this feature is important and it needs to be tied to a physical button. You can easily access it and use it a lot. And Android phones are just not good at this. Yeah. And let's speak about the buttons, because we started with more physical buttons. It's not an Apple thing to do. It used to be an Android thing to do, but now look at Android phones. Like the iPhone has more buttons and they're more useful. So I think we're kind of switched roles here in the past couple of years, and I think Android phones have to use these lessons that Apple is teaching in hardware design. And I think these are indeed useful buttons. So I would love to see these buttons on Android phones. Yeah.
Alrighty, yeah, iPhone 16 family, that is pretty much the story here with it. Very, how do I say that? Sneaky move by Apple.
Which one?
It's using Apple Intelligence basically to make you upgrade.
Yeah.
That's the story.
I don't know if it's a sneaky move or if it's just Apple being short-sighted before.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both to an extent. But, you know, if you're using an iPhone 15 Pro, pretty much do not upgrade.
Yeah.
Just don't. And I would say that for many other iPhones.
Unless you get a really good trade-in deal.
Unless you get a really good trade-in. Yeah, I would typically say that for the 15, for the 14 Pro, 14, for some people the 13 is still pretty great phone.
Yeah.
No problems with much of its hardware.
Yeah.
But they draw this hard line for everything except for the 15 Pro. And the only reason is you get Apple Intelligence. And you don't get it with all of those other older iPhones. And yeah, that's you know.
That's a good reason to upgrade, to spend more money.
Yeah, they're using it like they're almost abusing it. Apple Intelligence for that sort of stuff. But hey.
Well, if you don't want to upgrade, good news is Apple Intelligence is going to be a very slow rollout.
You have time.
For
the discounts.
Right. Yeah.
Talk to me about the Apple Watch Series 10. Let's switch gears here.
Let's go.
What's new aside from a lovely and highly experimental new jet black aluminum color?
Yes.
Which means one thing, and that is a lot of micro scratches all over that.
Apple actually said that it is extremely scratch resistant.
All right, we'll see about that.
Remember the iPhone 7 in jet black? It was not extremely scratch resistant.
It was not. And this one is.
Hopefully is.
Maybe.
So yeah, Apple Watch Series 10. First, what didn't happen? We expected 3 new watches. We expected the Series 10. We expected the new Apple Watch SE in plastic for the first time with a cheaper price. From rumors, didn't happen, might happen later on. And we expected a new Apple Watch Ultra 3. That did not happen. We got an Ultra Watch 2 in a new color, again, beautiful black titanium color. So that was lovely, but no new Ultra Watch.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because the last Ultra Watch 2, Apple Watch Ultra 2, had very little innovation and new features. Yeah. So Series 10 was the big focus. And interestingly, we've been hearing rumors about the small model getting completely dropped in favor of 2 bigger models, a big and an extra large model. That did not happen, which was surprising because many rumors pointed in that direction. We're still getting slightly bigger Apple Watches, but not as big as we thought.
Yeah.
So the small model goes from 41 millimeters to 42 millimeters. And the bigger one goes from 45 to 46 millimeters. So a slight increase.
The watches themselves are getting a little bit bigger, right? Not just the screen.
Yes. And the watches are getting a little bit bigger, but they're getting thinner, slimmer.
Okay.
So nearly 10% slimmer, and I think lighter weight too. At about 10% decrease in weight.
And that is because the stainless steel ones are no longer stainless steel. They're swapping it for titanium.
I think the aluminum ones are also getting lighter, but I have to double check about that. But yeah, and the more luxurious stainless steel option is gone in favor of titanium, which is much lighter too. Yeah, and in terms of improvements to the Apple Watches, the size, like, it was funny because this was one of the moments we saw the unveiling. You get this typical...
My favorite moment from the whole keynote.
This was funny. We see the promo, it's like, wow, brand new design.
And it literally like started with this. That was the first thing. And that also made it
we were expecting something.
So funny.
Yeah, and then, you see the close-up shots. And then they revealed the thing, and it's the same design. It's literally the same thing, just slimmer. So anyway, that was funny. But Apple says it's a brand new design, so we have to trust them. Mm-hmm. Battery life hasn't changed. We have to talk about that. Still 18 hours, despite the bigger size. But Apple decided they'd rather do slim than longer battery life. For me, that's disappointing. You still have to go to the Ultra. That's a big disappointment for me. But at least you're getting bigger screens, which is really good. So Apple says you're getting 1 extra line of text and messages and mails. It's easier to type. You're not going to type much on Apple Watch, but if you need to, it's going to be a bit easier. And interestingly, at 46 millimeters, the bigger Series 10 has a larger screen than the Apple Watch Ultra 2, which is a 49 millimeter watch. So because that case is more compact on the Series 10.
Yeah, the screen-to-body ratio.
The screen-to-body ratio is
much better.
Yeah. And the big new feature is about health. and this time it's called sleep apnea detection.
Shocker.
Yeah, and this is Rad's favorite topic.
This is my favorite topic. They literally like started with that. Like the first video,
Yeah,
the first product video they showed
scaremongering.
was 100% scaremongering and appealing to the needs of all hypochondriacs out there. Hello, my guys. Yeah, like it was like a cocktail of sick people. I mean, come on, it was. It was.
Well, the problem with this is that Apple is kind of using this fear that everyone has,
Yeah, they're manipulating you to buy an Apple Watch. That's what it is,
which
pretty much.
which-
Buy the Apple Watch or you die.
yeah, and that doesn't seem like a good marketing strategy. But it works. It surely works because they keep on
Yeah.
doing this, and obviously, I think they've seen that for people are convinced by those features, and they feel like if this can save my life, I'd rather buy it. Will it save your life?
No.
Maybe. In some
Maybe
cases.
in 0.01%. Yeah, maybe it.
Yes, I think the ratio of people whose life has been saved by the Apple Watch and just the importance of these health features in Apple's promo materials is the scale is different. So not so many people have been saved by Apple Watch's health features as you might think. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that's been Apple's strategy for selling the Apple Watch for
Years.
what? For years now.
These are useful features. We're not trying to diminish them. They are useful, but I'm not sure that like fearing that you might die if you don't have an Apple Watch is a good point. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the new feature, and we have to like give credit to Apple that heart rate sensing on the Apple Watch is the best and the most accurate in the industry. So their sensor accuracy is great. But anyway, let's go back to the sleep apnea, which is apparently a condition that many people have and it is not detected. So it's like kind of a silent condition that you have. And the idea is that you're not sleeping well and subsequently you're not rested the next day. And this affects your quality of life a lot. And the Apple Watch will be able to take your sleep data and over a long period of time, they said 30 days, so a month, analyze it and give you like, say, you might have sleep apnea. And this also is waiting for FDA approval. The feature is not, it's upcoming, but it's probably gonna come over the next few months.
Yeah, and I think like the new Galaxy Watches also had that, right?
Yes, and I'm not sure if it's FDA approved. We have to double check.
It wasn't. But
Okay.
Apple's one is also not yet.
Yes. And Apple says that it's using its extensive research data, and it says that over 160,000 people are participating in the Apple Watch. I forget the name of the study, but it has a lot of data that I doubt that other companies have. So I would lean towards thinking that this would be more accurate than other solutions on the market. And Apple also promised that it is tested against a real device that detects sleep apnea, and it provides good results, significantly accurate results. So this is great. Sleep apnea detection, we do not get hypertension, blood pressure, any of that kind. That Samsung has those features in some form. And in terms of sports features, we have our favorite one, which is the Apple Watch is getting better water resistance, but it's not a diver's watch. So the Apple Watch Ultra, you can take it diving. You can go up to 40 meters diving. With the Apple Watch Series 10, you can go snorkeling, which is fun. I haven't gone snorkeling in a while.
Snorkeling.
I think it's rated up to 6 meters, 10 meters. It's not rated for super deep diving.
Yeah.
But it has the dive app or complication, which kind of automatically shows your depth when you're in the water. It shows you the water temperature, which is fun. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna love this. But yeah, those are small features. You have a new watch face, which kind of fills with every second. You have a always-on screen that now refreshes every second, which is cool. And the price of the Series 10 hasn't changed, so it's still $400 for the base model. You have the silver. You have a new rose gold / pink color, and you have this very cool jet black that we ordered for review coming soon.
And we have a new chip, right? So
Yes.
they're faster. Okay,
The
that's all
S10.
good. Every year, when there's like a new model and the new Apple model that the prices don't change, that is a good year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As long as the price doesn't go up, that's a good year in my books. And that's pretty much the story about the
Faster charging too. I just checked my notes.
Yeah.
Faster charging. So in 30 minutes, you're getting 80% battery. I think this is really cool because the Apple
Yeah.
Watch, you have to charge it every day. So faster charging is great. And let's jump to the next topic.
Did it charge that fast or almost that fast last year, or is it
No.
radically faster now?
Oh, yeah, I have to double. I think it was 45 minutes to get to around 75% before, and now it's 30 minutes to 80%. So
Oh,
they're,
okay.
they're cutting
Yeah.
like 15 minutes.
Significantly better. And yeah, we should say also faster wireless charging on the iPhone 16 as well.
Yes.
Faster than its wired charging.
Or at least
Or at least the same
the
speed.
power is faster.
Power, okay.
Yeah, so it's 25 watts MagSafe and 20 watts officially rated via cable, which is wild.
Yeah, that is a first for the industry.
But I can see how those MagSafe chargers are more expensive. They have a better margin, better profit. So Apple has to
They have to
incentivize
sell.
us.
Yeah,
They have to
yeah,
sell
yeah.
us more of those. Yeah.
Okay, and I think you mentioned the new, I mean, it's not the new, it's the old Ultra watch,
Yeah.
the Ultra 2, which the only change there is new color option
Yeah.
Right.
Same $800 price.
and nothing else changes.
And titanium material, and you also have the new Milanese loop that now uses titanium as well, so it's a bit lighter.
Looks super cool, and
Yeah.
that means it's time to talk about the new AirPods,
Yes.
which are actually exciting. The new AirPods 4.
AirPods 4.
Everyone loves those brave little AirPods. The 4 is my favorite model.
Yeah, I like this. It's a cheaper model. It's not super expensive.
It has all the features you need. And now with a second option, which gives you active noise cancellation,
Yes.
which was the major differentiator so far for the Pro model. And now it's going to be a different story for the Pro model. But AirPods Pro coming in two options. One is just a cheaper AirPods 4, which was how much? $130?
Yes, I think so.
And you have also the AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation for $180.
Yeah, I think that's right.
How much did you think? $180. Yeah, that's good. I think that's going to work really well.
Yeah.
These are, as Apple says, the most comfortable AirPods ever.
Yeah.
You don't have like a long rubber tip that you have to stick into your brain. So that's a win. And so you have the lightest, most comfortable, refined design for the AirPods 4. All great, maximum comfort, new H2 chip for even better audio quality, better bass,
Yes.
better high frequencies as well, spatial audio. Now with ANC option, and don't worry about it, it's gonna work. I mean, it's not gonna work as well as on the passively isolated Pro models or any other earbud that has the rubber tip
Right.
as well, obviously, but it does help. Like
Yeah.
I'm using the Huawei FreeBuds 4,
Okay.
and they have this open type design, no rubber tips or anything,
With noise cancellation.
and they have active noise cancellation,
Okay.
and it helps. I mean, it works better. It isolates a lot of the ambient noise, so Yeah, who cares that you don't have a rubber tip in your brain? And the case has been made more compact this time around, which is great. Easier to travel with it,
Yeah, that's
easier
nice.
transportation, doesn't take as much space in your pockets. Up to 30 hours battery life. Not sure if that's better than before, but sounds pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's similar.
What else? Yeah, of course we have a wireless charging case.
USB-C in case you don't want to charge wirelessly.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it about the AirPods 4. What else do you need? Great, basic, essential AirPods 4. Now with this key feature, active noise cancellation. And that brings up the question of what differentiates the Pro model, AirPods Pro.
We have new pros, AirPods Pro 2. Again, with some exciting new features.
Is that a new model?
Yeah.
I think we did have the Pro 2.
Well, an
far.
upgraded Pro 2.
Yeah, but do you mean like a software update or a brand new model? Because I was left with the impression that these are the very same Apple Pro 2,
Okay.
the very same AirPods Pro 2,
Yeah.
but they're gonna like get an update with the new health features. Am I correct? Or
that's a good question. I'm not sure, but yeah, let's talk about the upgrade then. And
so here's what differentiates the Pro 2
yeah.
from now on, the Pro models, because the active noise cancellation fortress has been conquered by the little guy, unlike the ProMotion fortress for the Pro iPhone, which still stands out of reach. And so the Pro models of the AirPods are now going to differentiate with more health features.
Yeah.
Yay! And so I think there were rumors about that, that the AirPods are going to get this feature allowing them to work as a hearing aid.
Yeah.
And now it's here. Now it's real. The AirPods Pro 2 are going to work as hearing aid. They're like heavily personalized hearing aids. Probably going to work better than most hearing aids out there.
Yeah, and this is coming to all AirPods Pro 2 models, so that's my bad here. I was like under the impression it's a brand new model. It's the same model. This is coming even to, if you already own this model, it's coming via a software update.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you have trouble with your hearing, which of course during that Apple keynote, they made it sound like as if that's you absolutely do and you should consider buying.
They did say that many people have this undetected.
Many people, no, you don't know that you have it. So you better get checked, guys. Yeah, at least some level of hearing problems. So yeah, that is it. Clinically validated hearing test is what the AirPods Pro are going to be able to conduct on you, and yeah, I believe that's going to work great. Actually, yeah. Just all joking aside,
Yeah.
if you really have trouble hearing, AirPods Pro 2 gonna be great hearing aids. If you have a pair,
I'm not familiar with the hearing aid market, but an acquaintance of mine has a serious hearing problem, and I know that she was struggling to find a good quality hearing aid that doesn't cost a fortune, and I'm not sure that she did. I think she had she used a couple of different models, so I'll be curious to see if this works. Yeah.
yeah,
for
for
her.
sure. And the demo was very, very funny.
The demo was a bit funny, yeah.
The demo was very funny. You got like a mom. There was this mom, and so and it was like she was looking at her son, I guess, with some other people in the distance, like maybe what is that, 10 meters down, and he was like, the voice was like, of course it was post-processed, so it was like extremely muffled sounding voice. It was like, "Mom, you're the best mom." And she puts the AirPods on, He's, Mom, you're the best mom ever.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how people who have hearing problems really hear the world. But it sounded exaggerated, so that made it a bit weird. But I don't know.
Yeah, just gonna prompt the guys for if they have any questions that they would like us to answer to the end of the show. But I believe we pretty much run through all the new products surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, and we should say that we're expecting another Apple event in a month. So that's not all, folks.
Whoa, another Apple event?
Yes.
Is it gonna be like an event or just a silent announcement?
No, I think it's gonna be a big event.
Whoa.
I think it's gonna be a big event. Rumors say we're gonna get new MacBook Pros. We're gonna get an iPad Mini. You're gonna get an iMac.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a bunch of stuff. An iMac maybe, all with the new M4 chip, which made its debut on the iPad.
Yeah.
And now it's coming to MacBooks. So it's gonna be a big fall for Apple. But yeah, let us know what you think about the iPhone 16 series. Do you like them or do they suck?
Absolutely. Guys, by the way, we have a ton of content as usual on PhoneArena.com dedicated to this humongous launch by Apple. We have a bunch of articles on the new iPhone 16 Pros, the new iPhone 16 vanilla versions, the new watches, the new AirPods. You can learn all about these new products, all the details in much bigger depth at PhoneArena.com. If you like this stream, this update, just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to the Phone Arena show. And I believe that's all.
Yeah, that's a wrap. iPhone 16. We're gonna be unpacking this on PhoneArena.com over the coming days and weeks.
Yep. Stay tuned for our official reviews. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you around.